Wonderful. It was a bit of a struggle to just get the irises in the shot, but I did it because that's the way of today. It's been a special one. It's been a special day. So I had to scuttle on home and write about it straight away through a winding pattern of serious serendipity, including like whole phone systems for our local King Supers grocery store for all of the locations being down and being like shuffled through phone numbers because the whole system was down. I can't even imagine. Um, that just being one of many. I tell it in the poem. I wish I could tell all the ins and outs of it, but it was just really special. This is about finding a new friend and one of those where you just already were friends before you even say hello or know each other's names or do the basics. You're just there together and completely in it straight away. And I gotta say, that don't that don't come down the pike very often. Not as often as you like. So I'm just still wearing my same hippy dippy game that I wore there to meet her because yeah, and it was a Craigslist thing. I've put my Craigslist addiction on the back burner for a while. I just felt too much like all of the internet. I just felt that it was getting me a little wacky and my like if people would get things before me, it'd be like I was meant to have that or whatever it was. Uh, miss out on something and feel like just so jaded and jilted, or people not being real or not responding, or just the wantonness of it, the lustiness of stuff, and getting wrapped up in that because it's a distraction. So I kind of put it away for a bit and just kind of picked it up, kind of started. Yeah. It's like an addiction, like putting the toothpick in your teeth. I started putting the toothpick in my teeth like 2 days ago and going back on my Craigslist jive. And I haven't I star like a mazillion things, but I haven't acted. It takes a lot to like reach out to somebody, especially now. So I haven't acted or leapt on, yes, must needs this crazy thing of someone else's that will now be mine. I haven't leapt on that until today. And I found a a gem that I know is a gem, and I felt it like, let's go for this. And just made this lifelong friend now. I've made a lifelong friend. And another gal who I know that my new friend won't mind me saying her name because we're just instantly simpatico now. Uh, the other gal, I'll have to get to know her more. And because this new friend and I talked for hours. And then this other girl heard us talking and was like, I don't usually do this. I don't mean to like pry or like, what were you talking about? Are you an artist? And I like what you're talking about and I want to be friends with you. And we just became this trifecta in the parking lot. And this trifecta connecta. And found each other and had real synapses going and understanding flowing, and that hasn't happened much. But I didn't weave her name in just because she stayed for a little while, and we'll dive in. We'll dive in, and she'll become part of the story and the tapestry and the inspiration. But it was just a nice paved path that felt right, and things have been so jagged and ragged and broken and my words spoken feel crumpled and uh, wrong all the time. And so it's been a long time since I felt seen like that by somebody new. And yeah, just kind of blew me away. So I had to weave some flowers in my hair and just feel quite wide-eyed with wonderment about it because things have been so cold and brash and trash and are you in my way or am I in your way? Or is this a movie? Is this a play? Who's got the next line? Are you okay? You fine? I'm not fine. Are you fine? it's been it's been unwinding the world's largest ball of twine and finding things you'd never dare want to find. So I don't have a lot of battery, and the sun is dwindling. So I'm gonna give you this because I had this great newness open for me, and things have been stagnant with the out there energy where I'm just like, is everybody like this all of a sudden? Oh, shoot. And I got a little boost of new. So I'll show it to you. I call this one, Your name is the blanket of blue we all belong to. How fitting for you. Skyla, you made my heart smile a mile wide. I met you, and within 2 seconds, I saw all the good you have inside. I believe the first words out of my mouth were an exclamation of, "Oh, wow, you're like me. We're like each other, I can tell." You didn't question this bold statement, but rather agreed. You may not know it, but you freed something that's been stuck in me. It's like today was plucked from the playbook of fate to make us friends rather instantly. You coincidentally suggested we meet at King Soopers, literally the second after I had worked out getting my prescription sent there. Through a maze, I dare say the wild chase I took because the phones there were down, led me to the treasure I found, which was meeting you, and the resounding waves of hope I felt standing with you. I can see the world can be very demanding of you. I could sense the painful searches you've been through. I spilled my thoughts in great pools, and you dove in, and for a beautiful moment, I felt something new. Such random impulse that led me to your lovely spirit, so obviously true. I'd been cutting back on my Craigslist addiction because it's just such a maze you get tangled into. But the desire to scroll the unending bounty of other people's stuff grew, and I picked up the habit again only 2 days ago after a long break. I went for my target keywords: groovy, rad, antique, and of course, magazines for the collages I make. It's like a game of chess, that Craigslist instinct guessing game, but I instantly had my aim and knew the move to make. A box of Playboys for $20? Oh, Craigslist gods, what excellent luck. I didn't even know what gender you were, but I was more than sure this was something worth leaving the house for, for once. Worth leaving the house for. Then, when you found me and said, "Teal," I heard that your heart is completely, astonishingly pure. We took a rapid-paced tour of each other's complementary personalities. We spoke with depth about our qualms with society. That one gets throaty. We spoke with depth about our qualms with society. I could have talked to you all day and into the night and still had so much to say. I went a mile a minute at the mouth, as I can often do, and you mentioned how you always feel like you, too, talk too much. No, I gotta make it rhyme, sorry. I went a mile a minute at the mouth, as I can often do, and you mentioned how you always feel like you talk too much, too. But I'm here to tell you there is no such thing as too much of such a wondrous labyrinth of thoughts to wind through. I wanted to tell you everything and tried to, attempting to consolidate, but just wanting to open the gate all the way. You really listened to me, to things that annoy and amaze and scare me, and responded so thoughtfully, where even people I know quite well have simply stated, "Well, Teal, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say. You have sky in your name because you are made of solar rays. I had to hurry home and make a poem of praise for you because even though I told you 7 times or more how rare you are, I don't know that you believe it. I need to make sure you see it. That you were given many extra helpings of that dust from the stars I believe the angelic ones put in special jars to mix together and sprinkle down far from their cosmos origin to begin lives as fragile humans trying to survive by either being depleted, not knowing the star shimmer is inside, or using it to thrive. New friend of mine, you must have gotten in the good line when they doled out that planetary seasoning. You had me believing in things I've tucked away or pretended I wasn't doubting. I got so excited being truly heard and engaging with someone so amazing, I felt like I was shouting. I don't even think you understand the role you just played in rerouting my path. As we talked of life and art, another glowing, lovely gal heard us and was drawn to us and felt bold and asked, "Are you artists?" And a trifecta was started right there by the potted flowers. New, true friends I could have talked to for hours and hours. We felt the power of real human linking. We were all thinking the same things about how nobody ever hears the phone ring anymore because we've all become data bits stored in little screens and collected by corporate fiends who are all the while dividing us from what being human together means. I know I'm an odd one, but standing with these shining ladies, I felt like I was in a very important dream. Just then, a father-son team began to play remarkable accordion music, the young boy holding a sign to say they were desperate, and if all you had was pocket change, they could still very much use it. We all felt bad. No one carries cash. Then immediately the staff was out telling them they had to leave. The son stopped at Our Lady's Circle asking us for help. The suffering and wealth disparity is worse, much worse than most people accept or believe, let alone see. But he was right there, and the despair pulled at me. All I had was the 20 for the Playboys. My new friend, who filled me with immediate joy, looked at me, and we seemed to communicate telepathically with ease. She had to get going to walk her dog, and I just didn't want her to leave, though I knew our friendship was one forged in infinity. I went to give her the 20. She insisted she wanted no money from me. I had shown her my art, and her sincere praise and encouragement to sell my work was such a boost to my self-worth. We felt that burst of belonging that comes so seldom along. I told her I always end up giving my collages away, even though I start out thinking I'll sell them. She made me see my own gift the way only a destined friend can. We hugged and hugged again, and at that same moment echoed the sentiment to give the money to the man with the accordion and his young son. There are so few humans who keep their hearts intact, and sweet Skyla, you certainly are one. I had to run to catch the man and his boy, and their faces lit up with honest joy, and they nearly cried. I've been so cooped up inside, choosing so often to hide, but today's kismet was bona fide. It was as though Skyla pried open a door that had been barricaded over my glimmer. I guess life is like a constant scratch cards, and sometimes you actually get a winner. I feel extremely lucky that my happenstance connection showed me the supercharged kindness within her. Will send wishes and wonders upon many new breezes, I'm sure. Love is the cure for wanting to fold. That ability to shift someone who is drifting from themselves is a key we all hold. A series of energy waves rolled us to the same spot. We flowed equally in admiration and thought. She taught me so much in such a small span. It's safe to say I'm an instant fan. We said goodbye and both said, "Love you," and it felt totally natural, as only a friendship that's been waiting to find you can. The light is incredible right now, and I'm gonna lose battery. Whew, that would have been a much more comfortable way to sit, but hey, it was a worthwhile challenge. So it was amazing. The three of us, the trifecta of us new friends, talked about all the crazy things that happened in the King Soopers parking lot. We talked about that, multiple crazy experiences. And then as I was leaving, there was like a huge kerfluffle with like 10 cops and a violent altercation with a really not so good looking, beaten up by life dude who was fighting them. And I normally would have been scared, just complete, like, paralyzed anxiety attack, truly. And I don't know, the love and acknowledgement that Skyla gave me, I just felt strong. I felt strong and worthy and bright. So she'll pop up again. She's impacted my life, and that's what we're supposed to do with other humans. So that was a beautiful gift to me today. And so I give her this gift of immediately writing poetry on day 153 for someone who already means a lot to me. And I give you these burgundy and golden irises because gold is the color of what you hold in your heart. So this is just the start.